कृष्णपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. Hare Krishna everyone. So 2018, Stephen Hawking, a very famous scientist, he had many material credentials against his name. He was heading the Research Institute of Cambridge, one of the most renowned across the world. In fact, he was so famous and he did so many great things in the field of science. That's a certain kind of radiation is called after him, called Hawking radiation. And his book, A Brief History, what is that? A Brief History of Time is a very famous book. And also what amplified his name and fame was that at a young age, he was diagnosed with ALS. And this ALS is such a detrimental disease or disorder that as the person grows older, everything, all the normal activities become more and more difficult for them. Even day-to-day activities like eating, writing, speaking, it will all get deteriorated with time. In fact, the doctors had given him a time of only like 2 years that he was going to live. But by the Lord's mercy, he lived until the age of, if my memory serves me right, I think he was 76 when he left the body in 2018. So when he left his body, Time magazine covered this elaborate article, and Time magazine is quite a reputed article. Although I don't have the exact article with me right now at this moment, I vaguely remember the points that were covered in that article. In that, Stephen Hawking had said how human brain, he said, is just like a computer, and at the time of death, the computer just disintegrates. Basically, he was hinting that there is nothing after death. That all that is, this body, which he likened the brain to the computer, and he said at the time of death, the whole thing just disintegrates, that's it. And he also attributed this whole creation as a spontaneous act. And he was a self-proclaimed atheist. He said he does not believe in God. And now, why am I taking the time to talk about Stephen Hawking in connection with shloka number 36 of chapter 4 from Srimad Bhagavad Gita? Because herein, in this shloka, Krishna is talking about the glories of transcendental knowledge, but how in the real world we see, what to speak of ordinary people, but even a man of such high intellectual caliber, such name, such fame, such wealth, so many resources. And in Stephen Hawking's specific case, in spite of being diagnosed with ALS, he went on to achieve amazing things. So his name and fame was even more amplified. But even a man of that caliber, when he is saying human brain is just like a computer, well, there is no problem until at that point, even Krishna calls this whole body a yantra. It's like a machine. But now, why didn't Stephen Hawking take the understanding to another level? All he had to do was ask another question. Well, even the computers, no matter how sophisticated and how great it is, there is an operator, there is a user who is actually using the computer, there's somebody who created the computer. So who is that person who is actually responsible for utilizing this particular computer called the brain? So if he had only had some kind of transcendental knowledge to take his deep understanding further, it would have led that yes, there is a soul. But just talking about the brain, okay, what he said is true. At the time of death, the brain disintegrates. Not just the brain, the whole body disintegrates. We know that, we see that as a matter of fact. But in the very initial parts of Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, Krishna is instructing Arjuna, Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Krishna is clearly saying, oh Arjuna, when the body disintegrates, the soul will not disintegrate. When the body is killed, the soul doesn't get killed, and you are the soul. And how unfortunate that Stephen Hawking did not take his understanding to this level. How I wish he was alive and he watched our Grow Through Gita videos. Maybe something would have struck. So my point here is, no matter how much of other knowledge you have, if you don't have this transcendental knowledge, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then what good is it, my dear viewers? It's like that other story that I have described to you in one of the earlier videos, right? There was this professor, a scholar, who wanted to cross over a river, and he hopped onto a boat, and just to pass some time, he was having a casual conversation with the boatman, and he asked him, do you know about astronomy? How the planets are positioned, the gravitational effect, space, this, that. He said, sir, I'm just a simple boatman. I don't know all that. And the professor mocked at him and said, 25% of your life is waste. And then as they were going further, he asked him, at least do you know about geology? The land, the ocean, the mountains, the mines. He said, sir, I don't know about all this. And he said, 50% of your life is waste. And then he continued the conversation, and the scholar asked him, at least do you know about the politics that's happening? Do you know who is the head of India, who is ruling over America? Do you know about all these things? He said, I have no idea. And the scholar mocked at him even further and sarcastically he said, 75% of your life is waste. And at this point, they happened to be right in the middle of the water body that they were in. And at that point, it just started pouring, cats and dogs. It was pouring heavily. And there was no way that the boatman could row the boat further and take him to the cross of the ocean. They just had to swim. So he asked the scholar, dear sir, do you know how to swim? He said, no, I don't know how to swim. He said, 100% of your life is waste. And the boatman jumped into the river. He just swam and crossed the ocean while the scholar drowned and died. So this is something we've touched upon earlier also. So this is the thing. We may know about so many other parts of the knowledge, but if we don't know the transcendental knowledge, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then our life is also a complete waste, 100% wasted. And this is exactly why Sripad Adi Shankaracharya, when he was going in Varanasi, Kashi, along with his disciples, he saw one ripe old man, wrinkled skin, hunchback. You know, he was sitting there, and at that ripe old age, he's trying to learn, practice Panini's Sanskrit grammar. And Adi Shankaracharya just looked at this man and he was appalled. He thought death may strike him any time. And look at this man. At this ripe old age, he's trying to practice Sanskrit grammar. And that is when he composed this beautiful Bhajagovindam shloka. Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. So he's calling him a Muda Mate. Interesting combination of words. Muda means fool, Mate means intelligent, and he's calling you foolish intelligent person. Bhaja Govinda. Why don't you take the names of Govinda? So anybody who has material knowledge but no transcendental knowledge is this Muda Mate. He's foolish intelligent. He's thinking he's intelligent because he knows all these other things, politics and stocks and finance and sports and business and all these things, astronomy, astrology, everything. But he doesn't know this. That is why the platform is foolishness, foolish intelligent. So 99% of the people in this world come under this category, Muda Mate, foolish intelligent. And what should they do? Bhaja Govindam. And Adi Shankaracharya is saying, Samprapte sannihite kale, Samprapte sannihite kale, Nahi nahi rakshati dushkrit karane. He's telling when your Antakala comes, death comes, Nahi nahi rakshati. This grammar, mathematics, nothing is going to come to help you. So what will help? Bhagavad Gita Kinchita Pita. Later on in the same Bhajagovindam slokas he says this. Bhagavad Gita Kinchita Pita. Even little bit if you drink this nectar of Bhagavad Gita, that can save you. But if you don't drink the nectar of Bhagavad Gita, then what will happen? In the very following verse he says, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Jananam. Die again, take birth again. Janani Jatare Shayanam, again sleep in another mother's womb. Same old, same old. So very, very beautiful. So my point here is, do not postpone transcendental knowledge. This is the most important thing and most urgent thing. So please watch all these videos, share them with others, read Bhagavad Gita as it is and gain transcendental knowledge. Okay? Take care. Hare Krishna.